The day my brother passed away, it was really horrible. Everyone around me was crying. We were in the hospital, and that was the worst day of probably in my life. It was the darkest moment. I talked a lot to my family, but they're not professionals, so they didn't know how to help me or what to say to me to make me feel better. I was really confused and didn't know what to do or say.
Tykes and Teens has helped more than 23,000 children and adolescents overcome a variety of challenges, including depression, anxiety, behavioral issues, and sexual abuse. Our organization strengthens our community through prevention and educational programs, as well as emotional healing services for children and their families.
Oftentimes when people think of mental health, they really think about mental illness and the stigma that's associated with that. It's different than physical health. It's physical health, you can see it. If you have a broken arm, everyone can witness that. But if I'm struggling with obsessive compulsive disorder, it's secretive. The only people that you know are the people that you tell. There are three avenues that mental health shows themselves. Either children typically have a tendency to be depressed, anxiety, or impulsive behaviors.
The darkest moment for me would have probably been when I had to go sit in Jasmine's second grade class because she was behaving so badly. Jasmine was in and out of foster care. She was pulling out her hair to deal with the stresses involved with going from family to family. We are truly grateful for everything Tykes and Teens has done for us.
Counseling services are available in Palm City and Hobe Sound, and a partnership with the Martin County School District allows us to provide on-site counseling at 13 schools. Our curriculum includes alcohol and drug prevention and free educational seminars and events for youth and parents on topics including bullying, teen suicide, and peer pressure.
Just having a therapist at school was kind of helpful for me because then I actually knew I had someone to talk to.
Our primary goal of working with children is to help them overcome what has happened to them that brought them here, to deal with their mental health so that they can have the highest quality of life later on.
I was dealing with a very difficult situation with my children and their father, so I had to gain full custody. One of my children had written in the book, "I want to die and I don't want to be here anymore." It was hard to deal with as a parent, feeling like I had failed in some way. Obviously, it was a cry for help, and she recognized that immediately. It could have been very traumatic, and she put in a strategic plan for him. Their investment in the children is 100%.
They're good at what they do. And as a parent, I don't know all the answers. And it is comforting to know that there's someone else to back me up.
At Tykes and Teens, no child is ever turned away in their darkest hour because their family cannot pay. But we cannot continue to help the growing number of local children in crisis without your help.
We could not do the quality of care without our donations. For instance, one of the new ventures that we're taking on is working with children who have eating disorders. And it takes about $10,000 to train someone to become certified in eating disorders. As a nonprofit, we really try to focus on three different avenues of getting funding. Grants or contracts, direct services. And then the other domain is from people who are aware of what we do and want to support our cause.
Seeking counseling is not something anyone should be ashamed of. It's really good for you. Just know that support is there and how to use it. It's helped me open up and be able to say what I think and feel instead of keeping it bottled up or keeping it just to myself.
These stories belong to all of us. When a child in our community has experienced the unimaginable trauma of sexual abuse or domestic violence, when a teen turns to alcohol or drugs to dull the pain, or when a family is in crisis, Tykes and Teens will be there. Together, we can build stronger families, prevent tragedies, and create a healthier community for our children and grandchildren. Donate or learn more at www.tykesandteens.org.